My name is Elena Ross. I'm 32 years old. Last Saturday, at a birthday party that probably cost more than my entire college degree, my mother-in-law picked up a handmade gift from my 7-year-old daughter, held it in the air, smiled for the crowd, and dropped it into the trash. In this family, she said, loud enough for 40 guests to hear, garbage comes from garbage. My daughter's hands were still reaching for the bowl when it hit the metal bin. She didn't understand. She just stood there, frozen. Then her lips started trembling. She ran. My husband stared at the floor like he was 8 years old again. The string quartet stopped playing. No one moved. I didn't scream, I didn't cry, I didn't defend myself. I looked at my watch because I knew something Patricia didn't. 3 miles away, a squad car had just turned onto our street, and taped to the bottom of that garbage gift was a photocopy of a bank transfer, $50,000, stolen from a child. And in less than 10 minutes, the woman who just humiliated my daughter was going to be arrested in front of everyone she'd spent 30 years trying to impress. Before I tell you what happened when the doorbell rang, I need you to ask yourself something. If your own family stole your child's future, would you stay quiet or would you burn it all down? Like this video only if you believe blood doesn't give someone the right to betray you. And tell me in the comments, would you press charges against your in-laws? Because 6 months before that party, I discovered that Patricia Ross wasn't just cruel, she was a criminal. I met my husband Mark 5 years ago. He was kind, soft-spoken, the type of man who apologizes when someone bumps into him. He also came with a last name that opened doors in Greenwich, Connecticut. I came with student loans and a library card. My father drove a city bus. My mother taught 3rd grade. We didn't have much, but we had dignity. To Patricia Ross, we were the help. At our wedding, she wore beige. When someone asked why she didn't wear something brighter, she smiled and said, "One doesn't wear colors to a funeral." My mother heard her. She never forgot it. When Mark adopted my daughter, Mia, the little girl I had before I met him, I thought maybe things would change. Mark loved her instantly. Patricia didn't. To her, Mia wasn't her granddaughter. She was the attachment. Thanksgiving, sometimes there was no seat for Mia. Christmas, her cousins unwrapped iPads. Mia got socks. And every time I told myself, keep the peace, don't create drama. Eventually she'll accept us. But silence isn't peace. Silence is permission. And I gave Patricia permission for 5 years. It started with $50,000. When Mia's biological father died, he left behind a small life insurance policy, $50,000. Not life-changing money for the Ross family, but for my daughter, it was college. It was security. It was a future no one could take from her. When Mark and I got married, Patricia offered to help. "You don't understand finance," she told me, swirling a glass of Chardonnay. "I'll set up a custodial trust. I have people, brokers, advisors. It will grow." I was 27, newly married, trying to fit into a family that looked at me like I didn't belong. So I signed. I trusted her. Fast forward 6 months. Mia needed braces, $6,000. Mark's architecture firm was having a slow quarter. I didn't want to pressure him, so I called Patricia. "Patricia," I said calmly, "I need to withdraw a small amount from Mia's trust, just the medical portion." Silence. A long silence. Then, "Don't be ridiculous," she snapped. "That money is for education. You're not draining it for cosmetic dentistry." "It's not cosmetic, it's medical, and I'm her legal guardian." "The account is locked," she replied sharply. "I moved it into a long-term bond. You can't touch it for 3 years. Stop begging." Begging. She hung up. And something in her voice was wrong. Not annoyed, not irritated, afraid. That was the moment everything shifted. Something about her voice didn't sit right. It wasn't just sharp, it was defensive, like someone who'd just been cornered. The moment we hung up, I didn't argue, I didn't cry, I walked straight to our filing cabinet. 5 years of paperwork, mortgage, insurance, tax returns, and then the trust documents. There it was, First Vanguard Financial. I called the next morning. "Thank you for calling First Vanguard," a woman answered cheerfully. "I'm calling about the Mia Ross Trust. I'm her mother." "One moment, ma'am." Hold music. 3 minutes. 3 very long minutes. When she came back, her tone had changed. Careful, controlled. "Ma'am, I show that account was closed 4 years ago." My fingers tightened around the phone. "Closed? That's impossible. It has $50,000 in it." "No, ma'am. The full balance was withdrawn on October 14th, 4 years ago. The account balance is zero." The world didn't spin. It stopped. Who withdrew it? The custodian, Patricia Ross. My heart didn't break. It froze. Where did it go? I'm not authorized to disclose the receiving account details, but it was wired to an external account ending in 4490. 4490. I repeated the number in my head like it was a death sentence. I hung up. I sat at my kitchen table. The sun was shining. Birds were singing. A lawnmower hummed in the distance. And my daughter's future was gone. Here's the strange part. I didn't cry. When a stranger betrays you, you feel pain. When your family betrays you, you feel cold. Ice cold. I went into survival mode. I checked Mark's accounts, no 4490. Checked mine, nothing. Then I remembered something. A year ago, Patricia had hosted brunch and bragged about her little Florida escape, a condo in Boca Rita. It was a steal, she laughed. Cash offer, ocean view. Cash. $50,000 cash. That wasn't a coincidence. That was my daughter's life insurance turned into a balcony with a sunset view. I didn't tell Mark. Not yet. Mark loved his mother. He feared her more than he realized. If I accused her without proof, he would call her, she would lie, she would destroy evidence. I needed proof, the kind that doesn't argue, the kind that puts handcuffs on wrists. So I hired a forensic accountant, David Chen. Quiet, methodical, expensive, worth every penny. "I need you to find where $50,000 went," I told him. 3 weeks. That's how long it took. 3 weeks of tracing wire transfers, shell accounts, property records. Then he called. "I found it," he said. The money hadn't gone into a bond. It hadn't been invested. It had gone into Patricia Ross's personal checking account. 3 days later, it became a down payment on a beachfront condo in Florida. My dead husband's life insurance, my daughter's college fund, turned into marble countertops and ocean air. "This is grand larceny," David said. "Embezzlement, breach of fiduciary duty. In Connecticut, this is a Class B felony." "What are my options?" I asked. "You can sue her, or you can call the police." I took the file home, thick, heavy, full of evidence. I hid it in the laundry room beneath folded towels. Then I walked into the living room. Mia was on the floor surrounded by crayons. She looked up at me. "Mommy," she said, smiling, "I'm making Grandma a present." "For her birthday?" I asked. "Yeah, Daddy says it's a big one, 60. She held up a small clay bowl. "I'm painting it blue. That's her favorite color." Blue, the same color as the ocean outside the condo she bought with stolen money. "She's going to love it," Mia said proudly. I kneeled beside her. I looked at her tiny hands covered in paint, at her innocence, at her trust, and I made a decision. Patricia Ross was going to love that gift, because hidden inside that little blue bowl was going to be the proof that sent her to